and welcome to a game of Dota 2. We have got ourselves StarSeries day number 4, and we have 3 games today to go through. The first one starts right now. Of course, it's actually already on the way. We have got Poseidon, of course, formerly known, or at least most of them formerly known as Virtus.pro, up against 4FC, who have still playing with the standard actually. And of course, with me is Knaz. Knaz, welcome back.
Good to be back.
So Poseidon, they are actually doing really well right now. They are on top of the list of, like, I mean, to be fair, it's only day 4 and there's a lot of days. So they've played 3 games, I think. They are on top together with Dota, who are new. But Virtus.pro so far doing pretty well. And who are you expecting here to have the upper hand in this one?
I think just looking at the players, I'd probably be rooting for Poseidon a little bit more. But 4FC is a very good team, and they often take games that I wouldn't necessarily expect them to take.
Yeah, that's exactly true. We saw them, of course, previous season, and they, like, some teams that you would expect them to win from, they lost against, but then they had some brilliant upsets, I believe, in that season as well. So who knows, maybe they can do that here as well. We've got some standard bans and picks here going on. We have Bad IO, Lone Druid, and Visage being banned out, and therefore Nature's Prophet Lifestealer making it through. Still have an OD in the pool if Poseidon wants to pick that up, and of course, now also with the last pick before the banning phase, they would have the chance to ban out the counters for the OD. But they pick up the Naga Siren so far. We know that Poseidon is one of the teams that doesn't only play Naga Siren as support. They actually like to play him as carry sometimes as well, but I'm kind of comparing Poseidon to Virtus.pro here, because Virtus.pro normally run Naga Siren, Disruptor, Darkseer, etc.
Yeah, and I don't think it's necessarily a terrible comparison to make, considering the players that we have on Poseidon, like Crazy, Tamar Wild, for example. So, Weaver, also a very Virtus.pro type pick. It makes sense that they would be playing similar heroes. Some of the players are going to play different things, but they're also going to have some players that were on Virtus.pro, and they're going to be comfortable with these heroes.
Yep, I think so too. We have Abaddon actually banned out by 4FC. And I mean, I like this because normally it's, or a while back I should say, because it's not normally anymore, you'd see Weaver with the tree, and a lot of people have been calling Abaddon the new tree, basically. And especially with Weaver, you want to have one of those heroes with him that is able to just, well, protect him a little bit with spells. But no can do, 4FC says. Keeper of Light banned out by Poseidon themselves. I mean, 4FC have not got any support picked up just yet. Just have, actually, Nature's Prophet Lifestealer, a very global lineup already, because both of the heroes can, with the 2 of them, teleport over the map, of course. But I think 4FC's lineup so far, the 2 heroes, I mean, they only have 2 heroes, fair enough, but it's very safe, it feels to me.
Yeah, I mean, Nature's Prophet, Lifestealer, these are very safe picks in kind of the heroes that we see commonly. They're a little bit more, I guess, older in the picking, but Nature's Prophet, Lifestealer are a very potent combination as well. You can teleport Lifestealer across the map, set up ganks that way, and we'll see if it ends up working out for them, what else they're going to do, if they're going to go heavy split pushing afterwards. I mean, they have a lot of options with this kind of a pick.
I do. OD still banned out, as well as the Puck, so 2 mid heroes removed from the pool. With the Rubik pickup for 4FC, still unsure about what they're going to be doing, if they are going to be, well, it probably will be a safe trial line. But I'm kind of like, with the Lifestealer, normally you see him picked up in a dual core combination, and that means that the mid hero from 4FC kind of needs to be able to buy time for Nature's Prophet to either turn into that, or the mid hero itself need to be a bit of a strong core hero, like for example a Dragon Knight would be. Or maybe a Queen of Pain. If Nature's Prophet can get some solid farm, then Queen of Pain can carry until Nature's Prophet can take over. But they need a strong mid. So I'm curious to see what they will pick up for that. Poseidon, so far, is ticking into their bonus time, thinking about what they want to pick up next. Still have every option open for them as well.
Well, 4FC was the team we saw last season doing Spirit Breaker mid, right?
True, yeah, you're right.
So they could do something interesting like that if they want to, depending on what Poseidon end up picking up. I don't know, Dragon Knight, kind of not as common as maybe it was a month ago. I feel like I haven't seen him a lot recently, and I don't know what that necessarily is as a result of. Dragon Knight was huge, but he's kind of weak in lane, not particularly good. He can kind of get farm, and maybe we're sort of seeing some transition back towards those heroes that have a little bit more impact in lane than Dragon Knight. But lots of picks still available. Poseidon, their heroes can do anything, like you mentioned with the Naga, and the Weaver as well. Just kind of, they can lane in a variety of ways. Venomancer not one I would have expected though.
Absolutely not. I like it though, because this is very aggressive. You pick up a Venomancer if you know that you're gonna have... Like, Venomancer is very strong because of his Gale. It doesn't skill that well, but it's always a great slow, of course. But at level 1, it's one of the most powerful spells that you can get. If you combine them up with a Naga Siren, you've got yourself an ensnare that guarantees a Gale that actually hits. And this says to me that Poseidon, they want to go aggressive somewhere. Be that with a safe lane, Weaver and safe lane everybody and just go roaming, or be that with an aggressive trial lane. But I like it a lot already. And of course it's very strong up against a Lifestealer. If there's only one core early on in the game, VP can just say, you know what, if we shut down the Lifestealer, then we have maybe also shut down a little bit of the Nature's Prophet, then we already have such a good start, and they have their game so delayed that we're going to win this. And if they run an aggressive trial and up against that Lifestealer, I mean, if the Gale hits before he can rage, he will still be slowed while he is raged, and that's of course very strong for Poseidon.
Yeah, you can't remove the slow from Venomous Gale just by popping the magic immunity, so that's really a thing to deal with, even for a Lifestealer. Maybe that's their plan here, is that they're going to try and land the Gales on him early. They also have the Ensnare, which goes through BKB, so they have a couple ways to sort of crowd control the Lifestealer out. Maybe that leads to 4FC wanting to pick another carry for a different lane. They already have the Nature's Prophet, though, so off lane is kind of already taken. So maybe it ends up being Dragonite for the middle lane, and you just grab another tanky melee carry.
Whoa.
But they're gonna go Storm. So they go the Storm Nakes Bomb route.
On one hand, I like it, because you have Storm Nakes indeed, and you have Nature's Prophet that can TP in if need be as well. But on the other hand, what do they have before Storm is big enough to do something here? Because how are they gonna get to that point where Storm is indeed gonna be able to throw that Nakes Bomb out, where Lifestealer has got some refunds from his Hand of Midas? It's gonna be tough to survive the first 10 minutes, I think, for 4FC without too many lanes lost.
Yeah, it's kind of a problem that I guess it's a question that teams always have to ask themselves nowadays when you go up against these teams, particularly a lot of the CIS teams like to pick very aggressive lineups. You can hedge towards the late game very easily, and if you get that far, you're probably going to win. But if they just kind of overrun you in the first 10, 15 minutes, it's really hard to do anything, even with a team that's particularly powerful as the game goes on. Poseidon, they have a lot of early game pressure with these heroes, but late game their heroes aren't really slouches either. With Weaver, Naga, Queen of Pain even can sort of transition to a carry role like you mentioned earlier on. So, I don't know, 4FC, their lineup can be strong, but you're right, they're going to have a very difficult time early on.
Yeah, a lot will rely on the supports, because Rubik and Lina, of course, those are the ones to buy some space for everybody. And if Poseidon is going to run an aggressive trial lane, I think Rubik and Lina can counter-initiate. I mean, you have a telekinesis into a light strike array. There's a lot of burst coming out from Alina, and a Doom coming out from Poseidon. That's going to be hell to pay for a Storm Spirit. Sad Storm Spirit.
Doom is really frustrating for a lot of these heroes. Nature's Prophet, Storm, both are going to have a lot of trouble. Lifestealer even can't really rage.
Can't even lifesteal.
Yeah, so Doom can be pretty powerful here. There are a lot of good targets for it. One of the kind of issues with Doom is that you can only hit one person, and there's obviously several heroes here that you want to. I would kind of expect Storm Spirit to be the major target during the majority of the game, but if it goes late enough, I could see Lifestealer also being a very good target for it.
Especially if Storm indeed is that target earlier on, and therefore is shut down enough for Lifestealer to be the highest priority for the teams. We have got indeed Airman on the Doom. I think we're going to see an aggressive trial lane with Naga, Siren, Weaver and Venomancer. I hope we do anyway, because I think that's what Poseidon needs to do to try and delay that Lifestealer from farming too much. So let's go over who's playing what. Of course, once again, for people that skip the draft. There's some people that skip the draft, unfortunately for them, but hey, I'll help them out. You are watching, of course, StarSeries. It is day number 4, game number 1 of the 3 games we have today. The last game of today is actually the one that I'm looking forward to most. It's going to be Virtus Pro versus Aspera. I have not seen the new Virtus Pro in action just yet, so going to be curious to see how that goes. But for this one, of course, 4FC versus Poseidon. A team that has 4FC team that has been playing together for a long time, and also with a new player that has actually been around also in the Swedish scene for a long time as well, up against Virtus Pro ex-Virtus Pro. 3 extra Virtus Pro and a lot of familiar faces on the side of Poseidon. So let's see, on the side of Poseidon we have got everybody moving around into the Radiant Jungle. Sakura will play the Venomancer. Jotum or Medved will play the Naga Siren. Tamar Wild, or on the Queen of Pain, or Crazy, will play the mid lane with Illidan, Airman, Storm Rage, or in this case 8 to 10 will be playing the Doom. And then we have got one left, which is, see, it is the Weaver, who will be on the off lane, and looks like he's gonna be, yeah, he's gonna be supported. The supports pretended to be, like, if there were wards for 4FC, the supports pretended to be going to help the Doom, but they stick around.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in how this tri-lane versus tri-lane is really going to work out. Like we said, the Venomancer and Naga are very powerful in lane, but Rubik and Lina can do a lot of work as well, and Weaver's not a particularly tanky, survivable hero early on. If they get the lift and the stun combination, they can definitely kill Weaver pretty quickly in this lane, especially once level 2 rolls around.
Very true. We have, by the way, Venomancer lucky enough to pick up an Invis rune, and he's gonna go for Blum. 1 Gale, and that will be it. Blum does not have an escape. The thing about a Storm is that, and once level 6, he's great. But he has to get there first, and he doesn't have an escape. He's gonna have a tough mid lane. The moment he comes a little bit too forward, Sakura will go for the Gale. He's already trying to go there. They will go for him, and this should be first blood. He tries to run for it. Maybe he can live through this, actually. It looks like he will be. Not enough damage. I actually think they thought they had a little bit more than that.
Yeah, I think if Queen of Pain had gotten Scream at level 1 instead of Shadow Strike, they might have been able to kill it, but Shadow Strike is so good that you pretty much always just get it at level 1 on Queen of Pain. And maybe saving it for Blink. I don't know, they're not able to quite get the kill, but they do harass Storm Spirit. He's going to use a ton of his regen, and it does still put him behind in the lane. And Venomancer, it doesn't really matter if he's not getting experience anywhere, so he's going to head back bottom now.
Oh, and look at this. That's kind of bad. I mean, the sentry ward just placed, but before countering it, they actually went for the pool, and now they lost their sentry ward that they just placed. That's a bit of a loss there. Do you still want to introduce 4FC, by the way?
Oh, yeah, completely spaced. So we're going to have Strangby down the bottom lane playing the Rubik. The stand-in Zapta is going to be playing Lina. Carry role going to be handled by Giftig on the Lifestealer. Mid lane, that's going to be Blom playing the Storm Spirit. And finally, off lane will be handled by Krilly on the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, and this lane on the top lane, it should be fairly easy for the Doom to get last hits, and of course this Devour will grant him some solid farm. But at the same time, Krilly is not going to get zoned out here, so this is a Nature's Prophet that is going to be doing well this game, I think. He's going to be getting his hand of Midas fairly fast, and therefore will be bigger earlier on than we normally see an off-lane Nature's Prophet be. If he indeed sticks on the lane, which we're going to assume he does. And although the moment that Doom is level 6, Nature's Prophet probably has to try and run.
Yeah, one of the good things about this matchup for the Nature's Prophet is that Doom has really low armor, so that Treant Harass that he can put out is actually a lot more effective than it would be against many of the heroes he ends up facing in these one-on-one situations. So he can kind of push him back a little bit, but you're right, once he hits level 6, Nature's Prophet's probably just dead.
Venomancer might be first blood. He is first blood with Lina going down straight afterwards, but at least she got the gold for it. Strangby still getting in a snare. Lifestealer though should be able to save him unless Naga Siren comes from the side with a Riptide. One Riptide from the other side of the trees. Gets him! Nicely done, Medved. That was some nice Riptide. I really, like, he didn't know that Rubik was actually around that corner, but anticipation. And he gets it, so 2 for 1, but the first blood does go to 4FC.
Yeah, it ends up being a 2 for 1, so it's hard to say who really gets the advantage. It's pretty close. Just in terms of experience, it's a little bit better for Poseidon, and so it does put them a bit ahead, and they need to be ahead, of course. They are on the aggressive tri-lane, but Venomancer going down first, it's kind of unfortunate for him. He really wants to get a couple levels up at least, so he can get some additional points in these skills. All of his poisons are very powerful, and I'm interested to see exactly which route he's going to go with the leveling. Plague Ward used to be kind of the standard, but I don't know that it is anymore.
Now, the last Venomancer that I saw was actually before TI. It was Synderen who actually went to max out his Gale. And only had 1 in wards just for the vision. So
yeah, I think that's been the last few times I've seen Venomancer. That's been common, so that might be the new standard.
We'll see what preference he has. I mean, that's, I think, most of it. Personal preference. How do you like to play most? The Venomancer. Who Yeah, who has assists for both of the kills, regardless of him dying. Skrilly might be in some trouble here. Scorched Earth giving Illidan a little bit extra movement space, and as well, or his movement speed, and he has a critical strike. So 1 crit needed. Oh, he gets him! So close, yet so far. The crit from the wolf does enough.
Yeah, and just the mini stun from level death to make sure that he couldn't finish that teleport.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have been able to get away. It was just really well played there by Illidan. So he gets that free kill. He's already kind of pretty far ahead in this lane. It starts getting pretty rough for Nature's Prophet to be up here. We'll see if he keeps hanging out up in that top lane. I imagine he wants to be up there just so he doesn't give up that tower. But
yeah,
he has to be careful. Doom is off cooldown.
Yeah, that can warrant another kill. I mean, level 7 right now up on the Doom. He should be the highest level in the game. Yeah, by far, actually. Look at that. Level 5, second highest level, and it's actually the same. Well, his lane also. Nature's Prophet, of course, level 5. Storm also level 5 with Queen of Pain sitting at level 5 as well, but she's close to level 6. Slightly ahead here for Storm, 31 for 16. I say slightly, but let's take a look at Storm real quick. He is 14 to 2, so it's actually double the amount of less hits for Tama Wild here in this mid lane. So that's going to be a pretty tough thing to take for Blom, because he should be the one to try and get the mid game going for his team. And right now it looks like Tama Wild will have the upper hand.
Yeah, and that's not really a surprising outcome. Storm is the shorter range hero, and his abilities, while strong, are kind of limited heavily by his mana pool in these early stages of the game, and he doesn't really feel safe anytime those supports disappear from bottom until he hits level 6. So Queen of Pain getting the advantage, not particularly surprising.
Oh, maybe there's a kill here. Nature's Prophet does not get him. Actually, the tick does not reach Doom anymore, and the Doom will still kill off Krillin. There's no way he's gonna live through that. He actually is able to deny himself with the treants. Nicely done.
Yeah, and Illidan knew what was going on, so he ran in trying to like get the kill.
They don't get Weaver. So close.
Illidan tried to run in and almost got himself killed up there.
Yeah.
Took a couple hits from the tower, had to use his stick charges just to survive.
And he's
So a
just
good
gonna
deny,
take
though.
Very good deny indeed. And forcing Illidan back is... I mean, it didn't kill him, fair enough, but at least he has to walk all the way back, or TP all the way back, and then walk his way back towards the lane, which is gonna be delaying his farm a little bit. Oh, Gale up on the lifesteal. They want to try and go for him. In comes the snare as well. Looking to go on maybe Naga Samurai right now, though. Nice Light Strike Array up on 2. Dragon Slave over the top as well. Giftic still in this. Will end up going down to the Weaver Shakushi. No rage is what that does to you, as Lina will get herself away from this. But everybody on Poseidon very low from that. But they got what they came for. And that's worth it.
Yeah, they get the kill. They're going to have to use quite a bit of regen. I think Naga's probably just going to head all the way back, and it does look to be the case. So they're still keeping the pressure on Lifestealer, but he is farming better than the Weaver in this lane by a pretty large margin. And if they're committing a ton to these kills, it's not that great for them. It's still good, but it's not as good as it could be.
Yeah, and they're gonna try to go again. That's an illusion though, and they don't realize that. In the meantime, KSI gets hit by an Nature's Prophet ultimate. Tries to go on Strength. He perhaps shouldn't die for that though. Oh, Krilly TP's in, but they don't have detection. Krilly, what are you doing? Open wounds up on the Venomance. At least he can't turn invisible. The Gale don't hit if you are already raged, but the Ensnare will regardless. Giftic tries to turn it around, tries to go now for the Naga Siren. This time it's the real one. Also Zapta trying to help out, but he's out of mana and gets picked up by the Venomance. In comes the Sonic Wave up on the Lifestealer, who tries to run for it. Has got another rage up. Will be forced to use it, but will actually go down probably anyway. One more hit away from dying. Tama whilst though taking a lot of damage from the tower, is able to blink away in time, and so far there's only still that first blood up on 4FC, and Poseidon has now got 7 kills added to their total. Or, not added to their total, that is their total.
Yeah, and this is what we talked,
he should no, he lives, he's fine. Telekinesis helping out, Light Strike Array, KSI, is there more? There's not more, and he lives because still no detection. That's kind of sad.
Yeah, that was pretty close for both of them. I thought Rubik was going to die, but then Weaver backed out, got caught, and then he almost dies. I don't think the detection necessarily mattered there. He was probably getting away anyways. But yeah, this is what we talked about during the draft. The aggression that can come out from Poseidon's lineup here is really powerful, and 4FC, they need to survive, and they're doing an okay job of surviving, but the kills are starting to add up, especially anytime they get in these kind of extended engagements in the bottom lane. If Queen of Pain rotates down there, she's going to have a lot more impact than Storm really can at this stage.
Yeah, we've got KSI now level 6, so has got a time lapse. Even if there's vision right now, it doesn't really matter that much anymore. And I mean, even though he's behind on last hits with the Lifestealer, he is higher on net worth purely for the kills that he's been getting. He's been involved in 5 kills out of the 7, which is pretty impressive. We have to take into account though, 7 kills on Poseidon. One of them is actually a deny, so it's in fact it's 1 to 6 if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, but the deny still hurts, so yeah. I guess it's important for the gold, but just for how kind of the game pace is going, it still does kind of explain a lot. And Illidan's been left up here, speaking of that deny and remembering the top lane. He's just kind of sitting up here farming now on this Doom. He's picked up a Ring of Health. I'm not necessarily sure what he wants to go for that. The items that goes into, none of them are usually what we see on Doom. Maybe it's a Vanguard, maybe it's a hood.
Would be interesting. A hood would be nice. We actually, I saw Centaur, not a Doom, but a Centaur with a hood and then hearts. So he was basically unkillable. I wouldn't be surprised to see a hood coming out. I mean, there is a Lina in this game, a Storm, a Rubik, and so far Lifestealer is not going to come out of his shell just yet on the bottom lane. So for now, magical damage is his greatest enemy.
Yeah, I was in that game. We kept that game together.
Yeah.
With the double heart into AC, and he just like stood at the tower. Yeah. It doesn't work quite as well in Doom because you don't have return, but I mean, you can still go for something like that. And if he does pick up the hood, there is a lot of magic damage. If he's particularly worried about Lina and Storm, eventually you still need to get armor because Lifestealer is going to be a big deal for him.
Yeah. We'll see when he feels necessary to actually reveal what he wants to go for. Actually, the courier is flying towards him right now. Looks like it is going to be the start. Actually, is completed Vanguard. Interesting item choice, to be fair. We don't really see Vanguard that often anymore. I recently saw still a IO with a Vanguard, but that's normally picked up, or it is picked up if you think that you are not going to have the time to go for heart, still want some extra survivability. In that case, it makes sense. But a Vanguard, interesting item for Doom to have this early on.
Yeah, it's Vanguard is pretty much just an item that really demonstrates what the rest of their lineup is saying. They want to get aggressive and they want to do it fast. Vanguard's an item that gets really, really bad as the game goes on. So if you pick this kind of item up, it gives you that early survivability to get involved in the team fights and survive some of those early right clicks. We'll see exactly when he starts getting involved as a result of that. We do have the Midas up on Krilly now, though.
And that's going to be helping him get back up on his feet in terms of gold. He's actually not doing that bad regardless, but to be able to stop the push incoming from Poseidon that will at some point come in, especially as you said with Vanguard in there, they need to be getting those levels up fast and getting the gold up fast as well. We of course we've Lina level 5, Rubik level 5, and I mean they're still on par with the supports of Poseidon. Actually, we even have Venomancer still level 4, so in that case, like in that regard, it's actually going well for 4FC. But you have to start wondering, when is Poseidon gonna make their move?
Yeah, they're probably just going to get a couple key items up so that they can group up and start trying to push because they need to take these towers. They're ahead in kills, they're ahead in gold and experience. That's not really surprising. But if they don't really get any towers down, start trying to starve 4FC for map control and farm, 4FC's lineup is going to get really scary as the game goes on. So they're going to kind of have to do something in the near future or just completely blitz down like all the towers within a couple minutes if they want to wait.
Yeah, we've got Blum with a smoke on the top lane. It seems like he wants to make a go at the Doom, but Doom is actually farming the jungle right now, so that will be tough. Oh, Naga Siren is a way better target. She's only level 5. Zip in, Vortex. It's all that it needs to be, and that's going to be also Fateful Telekinesis. Should be able to pick her off quite easily. Nice pickup. I mean, of course they would want to have the Doom. Fair enough. But having the Naga Siren is still a kill instead of no kill whatsoever.
Yeah, they rotated up there, and it's pretty obvious that they were looking for Doom, but they still got a kill. Naga wasn't able to really just like sit up there and farm, which is what she was trying to do. And they're going to be able to move back down. Any kills that Storm can get also really help him. He needs a lot of gold early. I guess Rubik got the last hit, but Storm was still there for the assist gold.
Yeah, he has to be maybe a little bit scared for Tema Wild because he is starting to build towards an Orchid. And he already has his first Oblivion Staff ready. And Blumberg himself, he doesn't really have that much just yet. And normally that can be considered a bit of a battle between the two, like who gets Orchid up first to counter the other hero that is. normally the one that is victorious on lane. In this case, Tim Wild will get it first, as in this case as well. But that's cause of concern. I mean, if there is an Orchid... Oh, wait a second. Nah, he's fine. If there is an Orchid up on the Queen of Pain, then you don't necessarily have to doom the Storm Spirit anymore. If there's a big team fight, you can just Orchid him, kill him off, and focus your doom on Lifestealer or something like that if he's indeed in a fight.
Yeah, they have options in terms of what they can do with their skills. It's going to really come down to what they can initiate on. If it's always Lifestealer in the front of the fight and he's like just walking around, they can't ever get any of their goods, others like crowd controlling type spells like the Gale on him or the ensnares, then they might end up doing him. But otherwise, I think it's really going to be they want to put it on something else. At least at this stage of the game. If it gets really late, then you don't want to deal with Lifestealer anymore.
We have another smoke. 4FC. Smokes up. They know that something needs to be done. They have an infested Lifestealer inside the Storm Spirit. They go bottom. They want to try and take down the Weaver. I'm not sure if they have enough. Well, they have enough, but do they have protection? They're gonna go in without protection. Oh, it's on Lifestealer. Yeah.
No, it's not. I said if it's, yeah, they don't have anything.
Well, let's see. There's a Dust really TP's in for it. Thank you. I was gonna say, because that would be quite awkward if you send 4 people to try and kill one guy that can just get away with Invis. That would be quite awkward. But Krilly here to save the day, and of course with a successful gank comes a tower here on this bottom lane. Nobody coming into defend for Poseidon just yet, so this will be the first tower taken down in the game. Well, no, it will be the second, because Doom got the first on the top lane first.
Yep, so they're just going to go a tower trade. They should be able to get this, and Nature's Prophet gets sliced in, but there's the Doom.
Yeah, Doom already taking a lot of hate, though. He still doomed up the Storm Spirit, but he was able to walk himself away unless Tame Wild can make something happen. In comes the song from Medved. They want to try and make something happen here. In comes the Poison Nova on the Sonic Wave. Lina goes down, as does the Naga Siren, though his Lifestealer tries to eat himself back up to life, but won't be able to do it. Storm Spirit, still in this, is able to kill off Tamar Wild after his Doom ended. Was able to do that, and will end up going down to the level death of the Doom. That is 4 dead on the side of 4FC, and only 2 on the side of Poseidon. Good fight for Poseidon.
Yeah, it seemed like both teams really thought they had that, and then all of a sudden this sleep comes out from Naga. They're able to set up both of their big magic damage ultimates, and 4FC just melt. They're not tanky enough as a team right now to be able to survive that kind of damage. And that's a really big fight for Poseidon to take. It's a tower trade. They end up going like 4 for 2, I think, in kills. And now they're going to try and set up for Roshan. And I don't think 4FC are in a position where they can contest this at all.
No, they know that this is going on, though. They have got that ward, and they did see the team moving towards the Roche pit, I believe. So, the question is, if they are going to try, are they fast enough? Which looks to be not the case, because this Roche drops fairly fast, considering it's only, well, it's 17 minutes into the game. In comes some Triumphs, scouting them out, but it should be, yeah, too late. Doom picks up the Aegis. Strangby maybe in some trouble, but it is a Medved that goes down first. Naga Siren will drop. It's not over just yet. The Doom is on cooldown. Vortex up on Tamar Wild. He gets picked up for the second time. We have also Venomancer dropping. Timelapse awake. See, still in this. Still alive, but he gets dusted. And Timelapse now on cooldown is going to be trouble for him. Tries to run for it. Is at least able to take down the Nature's Prophet, but he'll go down. And then the last one left alive, it is the Doom, who still was able to help kill off those 3 people, of course, but is now by his lonesome. In comes Naga Siren. She doesn't have a song. She does, however, have an ensnare, but they're not able to find anybody anymore. Unless they find Blomberg. Which might
he's hiding.
Yeah, he's hiding. He needs to hide.
There's
for 10
no reason
seconds.
for him to think that he's there anymore. They probably just assume he TP'd out at this point. So that's a really big, sloppy fight. It ends up going in favor of 4FC, if only just 4-3. They end up kill score, but Storm Spirit survives and Doom survives, so it's kind of just like a wash.
Yeah, and of course no Aegis taken down either, which would of course be a nice thing to have for 4FC, but they still have that on the Doom, means they can still force out a real head-on 5-on fight, even if they want to try that, which with their lineup I wouldn't really recommend, but we'll see. They can't either defend this tower, they will have to let it go. Tier 1 tower mid. Of course, a very important tower, actually, strategic point, especially for Roshans to come. Oh, Weaver scouting out. Blomberg sitting there, and they're gonna go for him. The Doom is there. He wants to use it, but zipped away in time. Here comes the level death. Telekinesis. Airman will be able to run away, though. Nobody wants to get hit by that Doom.
Yeah, it's really hard to initiate on him there. He does have the Vanguard, so he's pretty tanky. He also picked up a Vlad's now, so he's got some armor. And with the Aegis, it's unlikely they're going to be able to just completely chain stun him down and kill him before he dooms someone. And the rest of his team is nearby, so they're going to be able to initiate. It's the right call to just back off there. They use some stuns just to like stop his advance.
Yeah, look at that Doom, by the way. That net worth is quite insane. He hasn't died yet a single time this game. And then with the Aegis in his inventory, he probably won't die for a while. He now picks up a Blink Dagger, because apparently he doesn't like getting zipped away from. So next time he'll just blink after Storm and doom him then. But he is actually more than 3k higher than the highest net worth target on 4FC, which is the Nature's Prophet, of course, with his Hand of Midas. And that's actually quite scary for, whoa, 4FC. This is also quite scary for Curly, who just used his Shadow Amulet. Is gonna try to use it again. Will end up living though. Is able to TP out.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Apparently, in case I didn't realize there also was a Rubik in this.
I don't know. They're just kind of running around through each other.
Yeah.
That was really close. In case I almost had the kill, but Shadow Amulet ended up working, I guess, to just dodge the one last hit he needed. So yeah, wasting time, but Weaver's able to just sit there and farm up that creep wave. He might get ganked momentarily though.
Nature's Prophet hanging around. You also still have the Lina. One telekinesis is all you need, and there we go. They're gonna go for him. The Sentry Ward gets put down, 2 actually, because 1 is not enough. Laguna Blade and Dragon Slave. That's enough. Strang Beam in the end with the last hit. Queen of Pain jumps forward. Oh, the Shakushi. Oh, wow. Wow, overkill much, Tama Wild. TP out from the Lina, should be fine. Nature's Prophet still farming. Never mind, TP's out. Good choice.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that she committed the Sonic Wave, and she's dead now too.
Yeah, Blum with the zap in. Queen of Pain not having her Orchid up in time on the Storm.
Yeah, it's kind of hard if he goes in and with the Ball Lightning. It's hard to click him fast enough, and Electric Vortex is basically instant cast. So he can usually grab before you can really get that Orchid off, unless you have like amazing reflexes and you predicted where he was going to be.
Yeah, by the way, this Venomancer goes for wards, level 4 and wards with
Oh, yeah.
Gale next. I guess it fits kind of in their matchup, in their or in the plan that we think they have in terms of being aggressive early on. I mean, you want to have some extra pushing power, perhaps with those wards helps out. We also saw him farming Ancients with it, so that's kind of successful for him as well. He's doing fairly well for himself. I mean, he's been part in 8 out of the 15 kills. In terms of support, he's not lowest on net worth, which is his teammate, the Naga Siren, who, by the way, does have a gem in her inventory. So
Yeah, so they have that now to try and, I guess, kill Nature's Prophet when he Shadow Blades.
Yeah, well,
And also, I guess Rubik always has Shakuchi stolen basically forever. He gets killed in the top lane now, and they're going to be able to push this tower. They need to really get a lot of these towers down, though. They're ahead, and they're ahead by a pretty fair margin, but there's still room for 4FC to come back with this lineup.
yeah, and they actually used the Doom to kill off the Rubik, so that might be a go signal for 4FC to try something. But of course, I mean, they get Rubik and a tier 2 tower. That's kind of worth using the Doom for. But we'll see if 4FC is right now a little bit more aggressive, knowing that the spell Doom is off the board for a little while. I mean, you got this ganking combination, Storm Spirit and Nature's Prophet, and it looks like they want to make it worth it. There's an Infest inside the Nature's Prophet, who uses his Shadow Blade. There is a gem, of course, though. Naga Siren will be the target. Infest out, Naga Siren drops, gem drops as well, picked up by the Lifestealer. They go for the Weaver, and of course they see him, but he time-lapsed himself away. Krilly now locks, yeah, he's gonna die. He is dead. Nature's Prophet goes down. Lina also goes down in this, but Lifestealer lives. And that's of course the one that had the gem.
Yeah, he was able to steal the gem and get away. Storm Spirit poured it out as well. So they only really got one of the important heroes. They got Lina as well, but it's kind of a whatever at this point in time. The Aegis is down in like, yeah, now. So Aegis is reclaimed. They're not going to have that anymore. Doom will be up in the near future. They should be able to get this tower mid pretty easily as well.
Ooh, Orchid on cooldown. 15 seconds. Yeah, this tier 2 tower will end up dropping. 4FC. They don't want to go in without the Nature's Prophet. So far, I have to say, I mean, 4FC, they have only got 2 towers down so far. Wow, did they really think that was the real one? No. BKB up on Blumber. Interesting item choice. I mean, it's very Queen of Pain oriented, I guess, but I mean, if you're a Storm Spirit in this game, which hero are you going to be most afraid of? Queen of Pain or Doom?
I mean, you're afraid of Doom as well. When you have the BKB up, he doesn't want to Doom you while you're BKB'd, because you're going to just walk away with it. And then when the cooldown's off, you'll go back in. It's not doing damage to you during the time. It does still silence you and everything. But he's also concerned about the Queen of Pain. If Queen of Pain comes in with the Orchid, he needs a way to dispel that, and BKB is pretty much the best way on Storm Spirit. You're not going to get something like Manta.
True. Well, we'll see. Of course, it's a very defensive build. And perhaps that's what they want. I mean, they have got a pretty solid late game with Nature's Prophet, of course, there. So they want to delay this game as much as possible. So a defensive build works towards that. They do take down a tier 1 tower top. That means that all tier 1 towers in the game are now officially done for. And maybe they can make something else happen with a tier 2, as their own tier 2 will definitely go down, because 4FC, they just can't defend this for now.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're just going to keep this pressure on, and 4FC are going to sort of split push and take whatever trades they can. If they're trading tier 1 for tier 1, tier 2 for tier 2, that's fine for them right now. As long as they're not giving up tier 3s for pretty much nothing, they're not in the worst position. Roshan will be respawning in the near future, though.
We've got tier 2 defended top and tier 2 taken down bottom. Song being used, Naga Siren, allowing everybody to escape. The wards from the Venomancer and the Siege Creep will still take down the tower though. Well, nice disengage Song. I mean, the tier 2 tower tops still ended up dying. So that's gonna be an even trade. Fair enough. But yeah, Roshan is gonna be indeed our next fight 2 minutes from now, so both teams probably don't want to really commit too much before that Aegis is up again, so at least they can get something in return for a fight that they take.
Yeah, it's pretty much just going to come down to Poseidon need to grab like one last item on each of their particular heroes. I think Queen of Pain's probably got BKB done. Yeah, it's actually finished. The mech is picked up now by the Venomancer. Doom really wants to finish that AC, and Weaver, he already has Lincoln's done, but he's not really close to anything else, so we'll see if he grabs something. But yeah, they're going to get that like last little bit of item completion, take the Aegis, and then I think they're going to try and probably just push up the middle lane. With this build on Doom, they can't really go particularly late game. So they're going to want to just 5-man enforce it now before the split pushing becomes kind of unbearable.
Yeah, and I mean, Lifesaver, he's been shut down enough. I'm not going to say shut down complete, but he's been shut down enough in the early game for him to now be still not having that big of an impact. I mean, he's got a basher, he's got drums and treads, but still kind of poor compared to the other cores in this game. And that's not going to be the case for very much longer. I mean, he will get his items up, and Poseidon will be having issues dealing with him, especially the Doom, of course, as Lifestealer is still sitting inside of Blumberg on the top lane, but it doesn't look like they're going to be finding anybody. Oh, TP out from Lina, and TP out from Rubik as well. They realized something was wrong. Something was amiss, and Poseidon with 5 heroes on the bottom lane won't be able to find any supports.
Yeah, they're just moving around trying to find any sort of pickup. They don't really have a ton they can do until Roshan's up, so trying to just gain control of the Radiant jungle to prevent 4FC from having good farming spots is one of the better things. In the meantime, Storm Spirit is pushing that top lane, so they had to port someone back. It looks like Queen of Pain was the selection for that. And gonna just set up for this Roshan fight now.
Trying to keep it safe. We already have Weaver and Venomancer in the pit. 4FC, either they take a fight and win it for this one, or they try and take something big in return, like tier 3 tower or something. But if they let this go, that's gonna be trouble for them, and I think that's gonna be awarding high ground for Poseidon, because they no longer have outer towers to take down. And actually, no, Roshan is gonna go the way of Poseidon. 4FC cannot do anything anymore here.
Yeah, I would have been really surprised if they tried to fight that in the pit. There's so much AoE that can come out from Poseidon, and they don't really have a good way of getting in fast. They have Storm. They can get basically their 3 core heroes in, but the supports don't have a good way of getting in at all, with both the Rubik and the Lina, and they have their stuns, so they really need to be in there as well. Giving up Roshan, I think it was kind of just the expected thing. They're trying to farm up and get these big items up so that they can start transitioning into the really late game when Poseidon's going to start falling off, but they're not that close yet.
It all comes down to when Poseidon decides to go for that mid lane push that you were talking about. We still have Doom. He actually finished up a new item. Let's see if it's his Assault Cuirass. It is his Assault Cuirass. Hello, Courier. Come back. Come back. There you go. That's going to be Assault Cuirass. Still Doom hasn't died, by the way. Interesting to note. And right now, with an Assault Cuirass of Vlad, he is building very defensive, by the way. He's got tons of armor all of a sudden. Plus 20. With that Vanguard helping out, and of course the Vlads. It's very defensive, like he is supposed to be a carry, but his damage is mostly coming from the crits that he gets from the wolf.
Yeah, the wolf is kind of one of the biggest boons to Doom as a hero. You don't really need to build that much damage. He gives the damage aura as well as the critical strike. So kind of as you build tankier, you're just always getting some damage out of it, as long as you're careful not to accidentally eat something you shouldn't have and then lose it.
Yeah, Airman looked for Blake, looked for someone, but couldn't find anybody in time to try and initiate. But they are doing the thing that is expected. They are trying to choke a little bit on 4FC. Clearing out the Radiant jungle, pushing back top while they're at it. But of course the good response comes from Krilly, who starts pushing on top where nobody is at. I mean, that's gonna be his job, split pushing and forcing Poseidon to not come in because they have to defend their lanes. It's gonna be a tough job. But we'll see if he makes it. He is going to be attacked maybe soon though, because Doom comes in. There is also a storm around him with an infested lifestealer. Krilly might be getting some help. In comes Blum with the infest out, going for Airman, and he will end up going down. Maybe he'll take Krilly with him though, and he will take Krilly with him, although a deny will be there. But that's not the kind of kill that he was hoping for.
Yeah, he just kind of was a little too aggressive. He thought he was going to kill Nature's Prophet, and with that kill, if he doesn't have the buyback, that's a really, really good setup for them to be able to just push a lane. But of course, Storm was hanging around with Lifestealer infested, and they just turn it around, get the deny on Nature's Prophet anyways, so with Doom up, he doesn't even need to buy back. And yeah, it's really a good counter gank coming out from 4FC.
Apparently Poseidon doesn't really care about their Doom. They're on the bottom lane, they know that Nature's Prophet is dead. Maybe they find that a fairly even trade. 3 minutes before the Aegis is reclaimed. And of course they still have the 10-second BKB on the Queen of Pain.
My thanks.
But going high ground against this team is actually kind of tough. I mean, there's plenty of AoE damage to clear out creep waves fast on the side of 4FC.
I'm not sure that they're actually trying to go high ground though. I think they're just trying to keep the pressure down this lane to prevent farming from the Lifestealer. They're hoping Lifestealer will hang out in the bottom lane, like preparing for the fight. Because if Lifestealer's not farming, it just slows down 4FC quite a bit. That's kind of one of the issues that they're encountering right now as the game is going on. Giftig has been moving around a lot, trying to set up these ganks with Storm Spirit, and as a result, he's pretty underfarmed. He's sitting below the Storm Spirit and below. He's actually in 6th right now in terms of net worth. That's really not where they want to be.
No, not at all. We do have the Scythe of Ice ready on Krilly though, so that will help out a lot. And well, that's going to be hurting again with Desolator up on the Weaver. Krilly is infested again. Let's see where they're going to be relocating towards, or if everybody comes towards them. We have got Strain Beings up to. I mean, they're trying to make the best of it, because I mean they're in a tough spot right now. Where can they farm? They have to let the farm go to Nature's Prophet, go to the Lifestealer, go to the Storm. And they just have to try and get a range and get maybe some kind of experience, because right now they're actually fairly far behind. We have a level 9 Steel on the Naga Siren instead of Poseidon, so also he is finding some issues to see where he can get some experience. But it is a very tough position to be in as a support right now, and a lot of pressure coming off on them as well. As you pointed out, they are the disables of 4FC.
Yeah, as they start picking up these disables, it's pretty good for them. Having the Scythe is just an additional one. If they can kind of burst Doom down pretty quickly, Poseidon's fight kind of just dies. He's built to survive, so they might not want to focus him down, but if he ever gets kind of caught out position like he did up in that top lane, he's not unkillable by any means.
Yeah, it was, however, the first time that he died, though. I mean, says something in terms of how tanky he is. Oh, he blinks in, he thinks he can go for Krilly, but again, it's a trap, but it's a counter trap. In comes Jotum, has an ensnare. Still a nice bash to keep Airman a little bit more ranged. BKBs get turned on. Queen of Pain tries to go for the Lina. I say try, but he will take him down. Going for the next one. Krilly sprouts up, needs to get himself away from here. Will not be able to do that. Giftig tries to eat up the Naga Siren. Gets ensnared again, gets killed off again. Nature's Prophet buying back, but right now, 2 dead on the side of 4FC. All they can do right now is defend and hope that the pain will go away. The pain that Poseidon is going to bring on their top lane.
The pain. Yeah, it's a fight that they lost. That's not particularly surprising that they lost. Immediately, Krilly ports onto the bottom lane to try and split push. Throws his ult, after the buyback and starts trying to push to make them stop this push that they want from the top lane coming out from Poseidon. I'm not sure if they're going to commit to it. A lot of their spells are on cooldown. They don't have the escape button of the Naga ult. They don't have Doom up. And even Queen of Pain ult went down. Yeah, so they're just going to back off. And honestly, that's not that bad. For 4FC, they did force the buyback out from Curly, which does hurt Nature's Prophet quite a bit. And he is the highest farmer on 4FC by a huge margin. So it's still very good for Poseidon, but it's not as bad for 4FC as it could have been. They could have lost tier 3.
Yeah, what's kind of funny though, I mean, it was the same scenario as just a moment ago. And this time Poseidon was ready for the trap and they laid a counter trap and it worked out. Nature's Prophet is in some trouble perhaps. Do they have the detection is the question? Or do they have enough burst to just take him down? We have got some other people coming in. Doom is around the corner as well. Can Blinken and Doom in 7 seconds. So it looks like Tamer Wild is gonna just follow Curly until the Doom is ready up on Doom. And that will be now, but the Shadow Blade still used. Well, nice fingers, Curly.
Yeah, really good reaction time by him to get the Shadow Blade off, and now he's just going to be able to hide and wait out the duration. So that's going to be a Doom cooldown, completely wasted. It stops Krilly from being a nuisance split pushing for like a moment, sort of, because his treants are still pushing without him. Yeah. But yeah, the Doom cooldown is not the sort of thing you just want to be completely throwing away. That's another tower that's been denied now by Poseidon. I think they denied the top tier 2 as well. It was a while ago. But they're getting these tower denies, but they're slowly losing these towers, and as tier 3s get exposed, it can be kind of rough. Then you have Storm Spirit, who can split push pretty easily, especially if he ends up buying like Boots of Travel after he finishes his scythe, and of course Nature's Prophet, who's the best split pusher pretty much in the game.
Yeah, we've been talking about how 4FC has got a strong late game, and of course Poseidon has delayed the game for them quite hard. Wait a second, Hex up on the Doom. In comes the Vortex as well, but in comes C. Can he try and help out the Doom? BKB turned up by Blum, but he's got forced back. C with that Desolator doing tons of damage up on Blum and might actually be able to kill him off. He does kill him off. Krilly will be next. C, the one that we haven't really seen that much of, or at least we have actually, but he's been the silent farmer. And he's been just able to do tons of damage to both Nature's Prophet and Storm, the ones that we just said were the split pushers of 4FC. And they just dropped.
Yeah, they committed pretty hard there, and I don't know if they knew that the Desolator was up on Weaver, but with that, there's a lot of minus armor, and neither of those heroes are known for their armor. They both have about 11, and that's not enough at all when you get minus 12 from being near Doom with Desolators hitting you. So they die very, very quickly, and the physical damage is starting to get pretty big there from those two heroes in particular. Weaver being able to start catching up on farm is a very good thing for Poseidon. He was down in the dumps for a long time in terms of farm, but he's been able to find some while Doom has been kind of aggressive all over the map, whereas Lifestealer is still struggling to really get anything done.
Yeah, that would be the one to take on the Weaver later on, but he's just not there yet. And he is still below net worth on the Storm Spirit. Below net worth on the Storm Spirit. He is only sitting on 9k, which is half the amount of gold that Airman has, as the Doom hits on him. He should be able to take him out. I think actually the that movement speed might be enough. In goes Strength Beat. Perhaps he can be helping out. Nope, he cannot. That's a kill. Nice blink away, stolen by the Queen of Pain. But let's see on the killing spree once again. He's now got 9 kills for his team. He's got the gem, and this could be the death push from Poseidon. They have the song up again as well. Of course they don't have the Doom for another 80 seconds, but they also don't have to deal with the Lifestealer for another 40. So depending on how confident they feel going up against the Storm, they might just try. See how far they get. Or at least force out a TP from Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, and they have this minus armor for the towers too, so it can do a lot of damage very quickly. They're forcing out the Glyph. That's not the worst thing in the world. There's no buyback on Lifestealer actually, so they should be able to get this tier 3 down pretty easily. Having just Doom on cooldown is not enough to not push.
No, Nature's Prophet knows that. I mean, he is not coming back because he knows he can't really do anything if he does. So he tries to split push, but he is too slow. By the time that he reaches the tier 3 tower, his Rex are already done, and Poseidon can already TP into the fence. So Poseidon takes himself a set of Rex. No fight being forced out for that. Courier snipe attempted by Krilly. And the Courier is very low, but it's not low enough. Actually, would have delayed the Hex for Tamer Wild, which is quite a big deal. Would have been quite a big deal, but not gonna happen. No split push. Just losing Rex. But they're still in this, but it's a little bit tougher right now.
Yeah, Poseidon finally able to crack the base. They take the Rex in the bottom lane, and that's a really big pickoff for them to get on the lifesteal. He wasn't saving for a buyback because he is trying to get those items up. He's under farmed and knows that kind of his team is relying on him pretty heavily at this point to try and get something up. They can't just hope that Nature's Prophet and Storm Spirit are able to just carry through the carries on the other side of Poseidon. So it ends up not working out too well. They lose a set of racks. Now they're kind of behind it. And with the Aegis and Cheese, it's going to be pretty rough for them.
Yeah, Cheese for Tema Wild, Aegis for the Weaver. Means that Doom they consider Doom being tanky enough, which is the case, to be fair. He's very tanky, and even if he is getting focused, that means that the rest of Poseidon has the chance to do whatever they want, basically. 5 heroes of 4FC on the top lane. Now, they can't leave for a very long time because the bottom lane is already pushing in, and they will get fought soon. Blink, Doom, up on the Rubik, finds out there's more Life Strike Ray already up on the Doom. In comes Timberwald with a BKB, but he's getting bashed, and Snare will hold in Giftig so that he can't continue bashing that Queen of Pain. Hello, Xi, by Lina. Rubik already dead, of course, as well, and that's gonna be one lifestealer down as well. Giftig not living anymore, and the only one that lives right now is a Storm Spirit who was able to get himself out with the help of his BKB, but that was just ownage, as we heard called out as well. Xi just cleaning up everything, Doom tanking most of the damage. We did, of course, have a bash for Queen of Pain, who was at some point maybe a little bit in trouble, but of course then Snare came and Giftig could just do nothing at all anymore.
Yeah, all these heroes on the Radiant side are just getting completely decimated by this Midas armor coming out from Poseidon right now, and there's not really that much they can do. They can't afford to just farm up armor to try and survive here. So it's looking like Poseidon probably going to be wrapping this up shortly with this push up the middle lane now.
I mean, we have the gold graph going towards the 20k in favor of Poseidon, experience graph towards the 25, and it's I think they need nothing short of a miracle to come back into this game for 4FC. Right now, still Nature's Prophet dead, still Lifestealer, well, back alive right now, but they kind of need their Nature's Prophet because he has the Hex. They need to at least have a little bit extra shutdown, but they're not gonna get it. That's gonna be Mega Creeps. There's just too much damage coming out from Poseidon and not enough coming out from 4FC.
Yep, and there's Mega Creeps, so it should just be a matter of time now before they call the GG. Teams sometimes do it where they just wait. I don't know. I never really get why. When you still have all the tier 3s up on the other side and you're way behind, you're really not coming back for Mega Creeps.
They want to fight. They want to kill some stuff. It was a bit of a fake back for Poseidon, by the way. They are going to get scouted out by the Treants, but they stuck around. They're going to try to fight this. Let's see, the Doom already up on Giftig and the Hex there as well. That's going to be a song because they can only take down a BKB target right then. So that's the Storm dead. Lifestealer dead. On to the next one. Lina, Ghost Scepter for her. Trying to get himself away. Rubik not so lucky. And that's going to be a GG cold with only Krilly left alive. But he also dies. Team wipe. GG. Poseidon. They move themselves up to the #1 place of the scores for StarSeries of the standings. This is day 4 still. We are still going to see 2 more games, so we're going to jump ourselves into those right now. Let me just check for you which ones they are, because I actually almost forgot already. Yeah, we're going to have Menace versus CD. CD so far a team that we have seen putting out some very enjoyable games, so hopefully for us it's going to be happening again. Menace versus CD coming up first. Afterwards is going to be Aspera versus Virtus Pro, so stick around for those. StarLadder continues in just a moment. Hi there, welcome back. I shall give you some music and commercials while we wait for the next game to start. We're already in the lobby.